Today we're going to be working with application problems dealing with what we've been learning about with volume and surface area, and this is just really preparation for your summative that's coming up. Most importantly, what you're going to have to know for your summative is, can you recall the volume formulas for the following three shapes? And make sure you guys have these memorized because this is essential for your summative. So, go ahead and write these down. Pause the video if you have to, and start when you're ready. For a cylinder, remember, because our base is a circle, we're going to start for the volume with the area of a circle, which is pi times r squared. However, because it's the three-dimensional shape, we have to add that third dimension, which in this case is height. So our volume formula is pi times r squared times h. With our triangular prism, I like to think of this the same way. So, triangular prism, I know I'm going to be dealing with a triangle. And so, a triangle is base times height divided by 2. However, that's once again only two-dimensional, and we need to multiply it by something else to make it three-dimensional. And just like everything else, we are going to multiply by that depth, or this length, this area right here. So times our length. And the third shape is our pyramid. Pyramid, just like always, we start with the base. So pyramid has a rectangular or a square base. So the volume of a pyramid starts with our base, which is just length times width. However, we need to add in that third dimension of these triangles that connect to form the peak of our pyramid. So we're going to add in that height dimension. And remember, a pyramid, I relate it to a cone kind of. And remember, we have to divide this by 3. Because we could fit 3 pyramids in a cube. And so do not screw that one up. That's a very easy one to mistake, but remember, we divide it by 3. So, today we're dealing with application problems, and what better application problem than something dealing with popcorn, since you know how much we eat of it in Quest. So, if we were going to buy popcorn containers and sell them to members of the school for $5 a container, which container is a better deal? So you can either choose this as which containers are better deal where you get more volume, or where you sell less volume to customers so they buy more. Doesn't matter which way you think of it, as long as you justify it. And just like on your summative, you always justify. And if you justify your answer correctly, you can get it right. Always remember, do not forget to justify, though. So, for finding volume, we have to find, for finding the better deal, we should find the volume of both containers. So, first container is a cube, but it's not a cube. It's a rectangular prism. And you guys should know this from the past. The volume for this shape is just length times width times our height. So our volume is going to be 12 times 12 times 24. When we multiply all of these together, we end up with our volume equals 3,456 cubic centimeters. Next, we have our cylindrical container. So first, recall the volume for our cylinder, which is pi times radius squared times our height. So our volume is pi times our radius, but remember this is diameter, so we have to divide by 2, so 7 squared, times our height of 24. And when we figure this out, we get a volume of 3,694.5 cubic centimeters. And so if I was going to buy popcorn for $5, and I was going to buy the container that gave me the best deal, I would buy the cylindrical container because it has a greater volume than the rectangular container. And that way I get more popcorn for my money. Another comparison problem. We're asking which container holds the most chocolate? Is it the pyramid or the triangular prism? And I gave you measurements for each shape. So remember, pyramid's volume is length times width times the height divided by 3. Length and width come from our base, and we know our square base is 4 inches on each side. So our volume is 4 times 4. Gives us a height of 3, so times 3 divided by 3. And we end up with a volume of 16 cubic inches. For our triangular pyramid, we also are given our dimensions. Our height is 4, the base is 3, and our depth is 3. And our volume is base times height divided by 2 times our length. So volume is 3 times 4 divided by 2 times 3. 3 times 4 is 12, divided by 2 is 6. 6 times 3, we end up with a volume of 6 times 3, or 18 inches cubed. And so even though it has a smaller base on it, it has a greater height, which gives us a greater volume. And so if I was going to buy one of these containers holding the most chocolate, because I love chocolate, I would go with my rectangular pyramid container, since it has a greater volume than the pyramid did. And our final slide tonight is actually an activity for you and someone to work on. And I would like to see these on Thursday when you guys come to class again. And so, with a partner, go ahead and use Google and use your resources and whatever you need to find the area of one of the Great Pyramids of Egypt. So there's a couple Great Pyramids. Just choose one and find the area as best you can and explain how you did that. And the other one is to find the area of the Leaning Tower of Pisa, assuming that it's a cylinder. So find the measurements online, assume it's a cylinder, and go ahead and find the dimensions. And we're going to actually change this up a little. We're not going to ask which one's larger, because these are pretty challenging questions. They make you use a lot of your resources. And so just pick one. And if you would put your answers in your assignment that you have, your assignment is more of these application story problem kind of things, make you think a little more. And one thing that I really encourage you guys to review is look back over and review slicing. Make sure you really understand the slicing that was talked about on Monday's lesson. And if you don't understand it and you can't visualize it, come see me or Mrs. Morose. But it's a very important topic that you guys need to understand completely. Other than that, that's all you need to know. Good luck with your assignment.